So Flinks' business model does not actually rely on consumer permission data. It basically consists of enabling that sharing of data. So we're basically an open banking company. We build the data plumbing between the financial institutions and the financial services providers in order to provide customers with the prerogative of financial data portability, meaning they have the ability to direct an institution that holds their data to share this data with another institution of their choosing. It improves product options for consumers because it creates a more competitive marketplace. So take the example of a loan, for instance. When a customer is able to share their financial data from a financial institution to a service provider from whom they want a loan, being able to securely and digitally share that data removes a lot of friction in the process. It allows them to submit their information faster, to not have to go dig in their documents to pull out bank statements or other documents. It takes less time for them to do it. And then for that provider, it removes a lot of friction on their side too. It allows them to use algorithms to take advantage of that data to do their underwriting faster. It removes some of the fraud risk from forged documents and so on. And it basically allows them to replace a ton of processes that would be manual with more efficient, faster digital processes. So at the end of the day, it's easier for the consumer to shop around different services. And for these providers, it allows them to have a lot more efficiency and pass down some of their operational cost savings onto the consumers. So when you look at one interaction like this, it may be simple, but if you duplicate it into millions of such interactions, it results in a financial services ecosystem that is much more efficient and much more consumer forward. So the thing is, when you don't have a competitive landscape in financial services, like I was describing in the previous question, it means you have a few incumbents who have to serve everyone. And incumbents, they cannot, nor do they want to serve everyone, right? They stick to decades old credit scoring and credit decisioning processes that are good for a lot of people, but not everybody. Just look at, for instance, the fact that if you don't have at least 3 years of credit history in North America, you're basically invisible to the credit system. Think about, all the immigrants that come here to build a new life and who, for the first 3 years, they basically don't exist in our financial system. So by allowing data sharing between institutions, it allows for new entrants to get in the market and create a niche around serving marginalized communities like that. Maybe I tomorrow want to build a fintech that is going to specialize in providing loans to people that have less than 3 years of credit history. I'm probably going to want to use their cash flow, right? And information from their everyday banking transactions in order to assess their credit worthiness. But for this, I need open banking. We're fairly involved with the various levels of government. So with the lawmakers, what we do is basically education to preach about the importance of open banking for the reasons I previously mentioned and like the great consumer outcomes it can lead to. We were also quite engaged with more at the bureaucrat level, where we lend our expertise in order to help them design a framework that will be as optimal as possible. And we believe it's crucially not just important, but also urgent to move in that direction because we're already late in North America. Like the rest of the world has moved or is moving very fast in that direction. And in delaying a formal open banking framework in North America, we're not only delaying the great consumer outcomes I was alluding to earlier, but we are also causing I would say, permanent damage to our GDP, because as long as we don't have, a formal open banking that drives competition, our fintech ecosystem is not flourishing as much as it should, but it is flourishing in the rest of the world. So if we do not want to be late, we need to move as fast as we can in that direction.